He was only a custodian to everyone else, unnoticed in his drab uniform and weathered hands. But to the grand piano, tucked in the hotel lobby's corner, he was a whisper of something lost, a person who once held meaning. Each night, after the guests left and the chandeliers dimmed their light, he would carefully sweep the dust from the black and white keys, his fingers lingering as if they recalled a time they belonged there. Yet no one ever asked his name. No one ever noticed how his gaze rested a moment longer on the Steinway. No one, until she saw him. Before we continue, if you cherish kindness, second chances, and the beauty of hidden talent, please like, comment, share, and subscribe to TaleHook. Your support helps us share more moving, inspiring stories that resonate. Her name was Elise Harper, a refined, captivating CEO of a luxury hotel chain known as much for her poise as for her cutting words. She strode as if she owned the earth beneath her feet, and perhaps she did. One late evening during a visit to inspect the hotel, she caught the custodian softly humming by the piano. She raised an eyebrow, as if curious. "Do you even know what that is?" she asked, nodding toward the piano. Her voice dripped with disdain. The custodian, Noah, nodded calmly without lifting his eyes. "Chopin's Nocturne in E-flat major," he replied, his tone even and quiet, though his heart raced against years of silence and shame. Elise laughed, a sharp, hollow sound. "If you can really play Chopin," she scoffed, "I'll marry you." Her words were meant to wound, a dare not intended to be taken seriously. But Noah's eyes didn't falter. She turned and walked off before he could answer, not knowing her cruel jest had just unlocked a door sealed for decades. Noah's past was a harmony of broken dreams. Once a prodigy, a rising star, schooled at a European conservatory, life and loss had muted his music. A car crash took his mother, his scholarship, and the only piano he'd ever owned. Homelessness followed. He mopped floors to survive, not for lack of talent, but because the world had no time for grief or shattered hopes. His only solace was the brief moments he spent touching the keys, imagining he still belonged in the world of melody and purpose. That night, something shifted. Elise's words echoed like a taunting challenge, yet beneath the scorn lay a chance, a spark in a sea of darkness. For days he practiced in secret, arriving early and lingering late, ensuring no one saw. His fingers tripped at first, rusty from years of disuse, but slowly the music returned. It wasn't just notes, it was memory, hope, everything he'd buried beneath the custodian's attire. A week later, Elise returned for a lavish fundraiser. The lobby buzzed with guests in dazzling gowns and sharp tuxedos. A jazz trio was meant to play, but a sudden cancellation left the piano quiet, waiting. Noah saw his opportunity. He removed his gloves, his apron, and slowly approached the bench. The room stilled as he sat. Most guests thought he was just shifting the piano, perhaps cleaning it, but when his fingers met the keys and began to play, something remarkable happened. The poignant, elegant notes of Chopin filled the lobby like a forgotten hymn. Conversations halted. Glasses hung mid-air. Elise turned quickly, confusion spreading across her face as she saw the custodian, her custodian, commanding, the room with only his hands and soul. The music streamed from him, not just as sound, but as truth. Pain, love, loss, and healing were woven into each note. The lobby became a quiet sanctuary of emotion. Some guests cried, unsure why. Elise stood motionless, her face pale, her lips parted, in awe. For once, she was speechless. When he finished, the silence lingered, as if no one dared disturb the sacred air he'd created. Then applause began, soft at first, then roaring, unstoppable. But Noah didn't smile. He stood, bowed faintly, and walked away without looking at her. He had said all he needed through his music. Elise approached him later, her usual composure shaken. "Why didn't you ever tell anyone?" she whispered. Noah simply said, "No one ever asked." Her eyes shimmered with something like regret, but he wasn't seeking an apology. She had offered marriage as a joke. He had answered with dignity, not despair. From that day, Noah no longer wore a custodian's uniform. Elise offered him a permanent role as the hotel's resident pianist. But more than that, she transformed, gentler, kinder, humbled. Sometimes she'd sit by the piano as he played, listening, not just with her ears, but with her heart. If this story touched you, please give it a like, share it with someone who needs hope, and subscribe to TaleHook for more inspiring stories. Every view, comment, and share helps us spread kindness where it's needed most. Before you go, please leave a comment. What would you have done in Noah's place? We'd love to hear your thoughts and stories.